All right, so these are the mineral questions that I'm going to go over. More than likely is going to be two parts of this video, starting with number one. So it says basic answers to questions 1 and 2 on the two tables below and on your knowledge of earth science. Table 1 shows the composition, hardness, and average density as the 4 minerals often used as gemstones. Table 2 lists the minerals in Mohs scale as hardness from 1 to 10. All right, so we see the minerals, the Mohs scales, composition, and they give us the key, right? So remember, these are elements of what make up a mineral as we learned. So it says, which gemstone minerals contain the two most abundant elements by mass in Earth's crust? This is something that we should know. We should know by heart by now. The two most abundant elements by mass in the Earth's crust is oxygen and silicon. Those are the two most abundant by mass. If you ever forget, the reference tables helps you out. What page? We turn to the first page. If you take a look at the first page and I look by mass, right? If I look by mass, the two most abundant elements by mass is going to be oxygen and silicon right here. So now that we know that, I need to pick a gemstone that has silicon and oxygen, And so when I look, the gemstone that has silicon and oxygen, I see emerald has it because I see Si and O. And the only other one that I see it is zircon because I see Si and O. So emerald and zircon, which is choice 2. This is choice 2. Number 2 says the hardness and density of each gemstone is based primarily on the gemstone's what? So one of the things that if we learned in our classes is that the structure of a mineral. So when we talk about the density, the hardness, the structure is all about how the atoms are arranged. This is not a reference table. This is a pure knowledge you need to know. How the atoms are arranged tells you the hardness, the density, the structure of the mineral. That's why it's choice 1. Number 3 says, the diagram below shows 4 mineral samples, each having approximately the same mass. If all 4 samples are placed together in a closed dry container and shaken vigorously for 10 minutes, which mineral sample would experience the most abrasion? So when you see the word abrasion, all right, abrasion pretty much means broken up, right? So if I look, which one of these would be the most broken up? Now, in order for me to find out which one would be the most broken up, I need to find out which one is the most fragile. So which of these is going to be the most fragile? How do I know that? Here's how I know. By checking the mineral's hardness, all right? So I want you to say hardness, all right? If a mineral is hard, it's not going to be broken up easily. If a mineral does not have a high hardness, then it can experience the most abrasion. So which mineral, when I'm looking, which mineral has the smallest hardness out of these 4? So I'm going to page 16 of the reference tables, the last page in the back, to find out, and I'm looking at hardness. So when you take a look and take the time right now to see, I'm looking at galena, pyroxene, amphibole, and quartz, all right? So I'm going to take a look. So, and I'm looking at hardness. All right, I'm gonna have to zoom this out just a little bit more so I can see everything. Okay, let me zoom it in just a little bit. Okay, so I know that it was galena, pyroxene, quartz was one, and the last one was amphibole. That was the last one, was amphibole, which is right here. So when I look at the hardness, quartz has a hardness of 7, amphibole has a hardness of 5.5, pyroxene has a hardness between 5 and 6, galena has a hardness of 2.5. So which one has the lowest hardness? Galena. If it has the lowest hardness, then that means it's going to be the one that is most easiest able to be broken up. Number 4. Now we're on number 4. Which mineral, for number 4 now, which mineral leaves a green-black powder when rubbed against an unglazed porcelain plate, right? When we're talking about a mineral's powder, what are we talking about? We're talking about the mineral's streak, which is what we learned in your notes. Everybody say streak, okay? So I'm looking at the mineral streak, not color. Streak, not color. So I'm looking for a green-black streak. That's what I'm looking for, a green-black streak. So when I'm looking for streak on the reference tables, I'm not looking at common colors. No, no, no. I'm looking at distinguishing characteristics. And I'm looking for a green-black streak. And when I'm looking, I see right here, right? Green black powder, green black streak. I see it right over here. Look what it says. Green black streak. And what mineral is this that I see a green black streak? Let me zoom out. Oops, sorry. And the mineral is pyrite. Boom. All right. So the answer that makes sense is choice 4. Okay. And remember, you can rewind, you can play as many times as you want. Number 5, which home building material is made mostly from the mineral gypsum? So when I'm looking at home building material, they're talking about what is the mineral's use? What's so useful about this mineral, right? So I'm gonna find gypsum. So let me find gypsum. Gypsum. Yes, gypsum is right here. Selenite gypsum. And when I look at its uses, when I look all the way down, I see plaster of Paris and drywall. And what word do I see that's similar? Drywall panels. So the correct answer is choice 3, right? Drywall panels, and I see the word drywall here. So it is choice 3 for number 5. All right, let's keep going. All right, number 6. So it says, base your answers to the following questions on the table below. It shows some properties of 4 different minerals. So we see the mineral, we see the color, the hardness, the luster, the composition. The minerals listed are the table of varieties of which mineral? The mineral listed in the table are varieties of which mineral. So remember, you can have a mineral of different varieties. So we need to pick a mineral that has this hardness, it has a non-metallic luster, It has a composition of SiO2, which is silicon and O2. And it has all these different colors, right? It could be black, gray, brown, yellow, red, white, or light color. So when I'm looking through, one of the first things I'm going to look at is hardness, right? Which of these minerals have a hardness of 7? Boom. And I see it right over here. I see 7. When I'm looking at color, it says colorless or variable, right? When I look at luster, it says non-metallic luster. And take a look. I see non-metallic luster. So far it's whatever this mineral is, it's clicking the right buttons, right? Next, I see my composition, SiO2. What do I see here? SiO2. What is this mineral that is matching up with everything? When I take a look, and I look to the right, and I see it is quartz. So my correct answer is quartz, which is choice 3. Which is choice 3. Go to the next meeting, next video to find the rest of the answers.